Hello, my little subscribers. It's time for another video. Okay, so this video is gonna cover something I see occasionally joked about in fiction, but it's not. I don't want to say it's ever taken too seriously, although something like the Planet of the Apes would be kind of maybe think some people are. Is the idea that an ape uprising or apes getting intelligent as humans would be severely detrimental to humanity's progress, and they could win a fight. I'm going to tell you that's wrong, or at least horribly mistaken or overplayed. See, part of the reason now I have to be fair, I have to first describe why people think it would be extremely dangerous. So let's go into that. The main argument being is that ape or other primates, but I'm probably going to call them apes or monkeys for the whole general video. But, just think general primate. Probably not the weird ones, but, the normal ones. So, are on average stronger than the average human, especially like a gorilla, or some of the closest things to humans we have in the primate world. That they're so much stronger than the human. They could beat us in a fair fight as far as strength goes. The only thing we really have above them is our intellect. So if you give the apes the intellect of a human, they're just a better human and they could win a fight. This is not entirely true. There is some caveats. One is that the ape, or most primates, aren't that much stronger than the average human. I mean, they are, but they aren't. You see, apes and other animals, but especially primates are a good example, is that they can't really apply pressure to a situation. They always go at full strength. A human, by its design, is biologically incapable under normal circumstances of using every bit of strength it has. It's mostly for two reasons. One, so we don't hurt ourselves doing something stupid, and two, so we can use fine tools and machinery without breaking it. Kind of hard to hold the spear when you break the spear by holding the stick too hard. So a lot of human strength is locked away under needing something like adrenaline or stress to actually come out fully. Therefore, the human isn't actually that much stronger than the ape. So, and the thing is, now how does this all factor back in? Well, the thing is, if the ape was gained intelligence, then in order to use technology, it would have to learn the same skill humans did, aka its strength would go roughly back to that of a human. So it would mostly even the playing field in that regard. They might be a little bit stronger, but that's like saying, oh, because the insert something army lifted 5 more weights than the other guys, then that means we're all doomed. We're all shooting each other guns 5 miles away. The second, also, apes don't always have stuff like opposable thumbs to work very well with. That could mess with technology. Another point is, the apes would need technology to fight us on even playing field. Let's be perfectly honest here. One, humanity would not, if a bunch of apes show up and declared war on every human society, like a lot of these stories say, humanity would unite pretty quickly to stop them. Maybe not so much as, yes, brother, we're going to stop them, but in a, you point your guns this way, I'll point them in the same way too. The kind of way. A mutual enemy. So we can mostly ignore humans beating each other up, at least why the ape problem is significant. But here's the thing. Humans, at least in modern day, fight with advanced technology. We don't just fist fight our opponents or shank each other with knives. We fight with guns, airplanes, tanks, bombs, bioweapons if we had to, and nukes. All of these things, even if you made every ape super smart, they wouldn't have against us. They just wouldn't. Like, no, and think about it. The only way they could get this technology to help them fight is if they were able to beat up someone who had the technology, and they would have to learn how to use the technology. Which is saying something, because you have to remember. You might say, well, we can train a soldier relatively quickly. Well, you can, but a soldier has spent 18 years of his life living in modern society, getting used to modern technology. I mean, let's be honest here, most soldiers have probably picked up a gun before they serve the army. Or they even signed up for training. If you're someone like West Virginia, you'll be begging them to let you target practice more, because we just like shooting guns and fighting a bit. We're weird like that sometimes. But, they just have none of this foreknowledge. So they wouldn't know the instinctual way to hold a gun and shoot or fly a plane. And most people can't even fly a plane. Most humans can't fly a plane. Why would an ape fly a plane? Or ride a horse. I see a lot of riding horses, and I see no reason that the apes would know how to do that inherently. Intelligence does not mean skills. Just because you're smart, you could know nothing. Like, Albert Einstein probably doesn't know how to fly a spaceship, but he's still a genius. The two things don't correlate very well. And this comes back to the biggest problem any ape uprising would have. Let's just ignore all that. Let's say the apes still have the strength, and we'll give them the appropriate amount of technology by space baths or something. But they would still lose. Because here's, well, that's actually another reason. The other reason being is that the apes would probably subdivide like humans do. I see no reason the apes would all unite together. I mean, how many wars and fought because someone looked too different or was a different culture in humanity were all basically the same DNA-wise. Now imagine you have entirely different species. I refuse to believe they would get along very well, at least at first. But the real problem is, primates wouldn't have the numbers. In a sheer fight, humans on one side, primates on the other, not counting humans, they would lose, and hard, because we outnumber them so heavily. The exact number of humans today is somewhat under contention, but I know it's over 7 billion. Primates have nowhere near that number. They would have to fight they would fight severely outnumbered, and time is not on their side. Because humans, once again, going to still have a lot of the advantages they've had earlier. And what's got to hurt them even more is that primates are relatively located in a few locations. Yeah, there's some dispersed in different regions, like in zoos or something, but realistically, they exist in a few regions on Earth in a great numbers, where they'd be their home base, aka perfect bombing. And they have no kind of anti-air defenses, so there's nothing to stop a bunch of human planes from bombing them back to the Stone Age, where they belong. But it just doesn't work out in their favor. They're simply not in a position where they could win that fight. Realistically, the only way an apeman could possibly hope to work is they had a bunch of human traders, like humans who willingly became ape in order to join them or something. That's the only way it would work. But I doubt they would have that many new recruits. I mean, how many people would want to return to monkey air quotes? I mean, come on. I mean, it's not like that's a thing that goes on the internet and that's not worrying at all. Yeah, I'm sure that's something we have to worry about.